Hello, welcome to Year 6. I'm Mrs. White. As I'm sure you already know, this is our presentation to Year 6 video, which would usually be done in the hall, but unfortunately this year we cannot do that. So we're doing it via video. Myself and Miss Wakelin are also in different bubbles, so we have to do our video separately. But we have communicated, as we do a lot, and we are going to try to do different topics each. So apologies if we do repeat something the others said, but we'll try to be as clear as we can. I want to start by saying a huge thank you for all of your ongoing support with what has been a very different start to the school year, but I hope you'll agree that everything has gone really, really positively. The children have, as I knew they would, embraced all the changes. They're in, they're ready to learn, and it's just wonderful to see. Our main aim for always, but more than ever, for the beginning of this term, is to make sure children are coming in feeling safe, secure and settled in their environment, and I'm seeing that every day, so thank you again. If you do have any questions or queries about anything, you can always contact me on Dojo. I am linked to both classes, so you're more than welcome to do that. A lot of people have already, and I do pick them up regularly, so please feel free to ask me anything you need to. I'm aiming to give you some information about the day-to-day running of Year 6 and the curriculum for Year 6, some information about SATs and the expectations of Year 6. For general day-to-day Year 6, which will cross over for both classes, uniform is, I'm not going to list the uniform here, it's all on the school website. It is as it was in Year 5, except at the moment we're not expecting children to wear ties. PE kit is as it always has been too. Just making sure that on the days when they haven't got PE, children are wearing school shoes unless there's a medical reason not to do so. And on PE days, obviously coming in their PE kit and going home in their PE kit. And for 6JW, that is a Monday, and 6PW, that is a Thursday. As I said about Dojo, please feel free to contact us on there. There is a lot of information going onto there. We've put the homework already for this half term. If you're having trouble accessing it or any part of Dojo, please let us know and we will try to help you with that. We will be able to help you with it. We've had a lot of, we've used it a lot over the summer, over the spring, summer, because of the lockdown. So please do let us know and we can help with that. We'll also be handing out some extra spellings as well for homework. This will probably start the week beginning the 28th, which will mean children will be bringing home 5 spellings a day. They're not expected to bring their spelling books in and out of school yet, unless they want to, but we will be giving them 5 to practice every day, and then they will be assessed on those daily as well, and then once as a whole group of spellings at the beginning of the week. So this is probably something you're used to anyway. That's the same that goes for bringing that book in and out of school. Is the same for reading records and for homework books. Children have been given those, but if you'd rather they didn't bring them in and out, you can take a picture on Dojo in 2 ways. You can attach it to their portfolio, or you can attach it to the messaging. If you message the teacher, you can also attach a photo there, which some of you are already doing. I can show you how to do that.
Hi Year 6, so I'm Miss Wakelin, as again most of you should know as you do with Mrs White. I know I haven't taught all of you, but I've definitely been in contact with most of you and you've probably seen me around by now. As Miss White has also kind of mentioned, is that normally it wouldn't be done this way, however we are very limited in the way that we can do this, so this is our best way that we can complete our Meet the Teacher segment as we normally would. Obviously, if you are in 6PW, you've somewhat got an advantage, as you do kind of know me already, or most of your parents should anyway. But if not, hopefully this will kind of settle you all a lot and answer most of the questions that you've got. So if you are in my class, we are bubbled with Mr Becker, first of all, so that's 5AB, not the other Year 6 class, unfortunately, for various reasons, but that is just how it is, at least for the foreseeable future. If you're in my classroom, you will also have Miss Coley, who is in there every single day as a one-to-one. Obviously, we know who she works with, however, there are other children that she does kind of spend time with as well, and your child may be one of those that she supports. Similarly, if I'm not in the room, then they will have, or you will have Madame Lee, who will teach you both for French and covering when I'm not there. So that little bit more consistency. And for PE, it will either be Miss Burling or Miss Thoreau, or a combination of the two. So not really too different from what you're already aware of. You will be coming in from the Key Stage 2 gate at 8:50 promptly, as soon as you can in the morning. We're doing very, very well at the moment. I'm very impressed. We're kind of in the classroom now, hands washed by 9, which is fantastic, as it gives us a great kickstart to our day. And the same for going home, we're getting a lot quicker as well. Most of you walk home by yourselves now, which is absolutely fine. If you'd like to add your child to that list, it's really important that we do have written permission, please. A dojo message is fine to me, however, it's really useful if we can have a letter written, just a short note with a signature to give that permission, so we can give it to the office as well, because we all need to be communicating with each other. That is at 2:50. I'm not sure if I just said that, so I do apologise. Those of you that walk home on your own, we will just obviously let you out at the gate at the end of the day. Again, as well, mobile phones. I know lots of you that do walk by yourself are bringing your mobile phones to school, which is also fine, but they do need to be switched off, not just on silent, and they do need to be handed in to me, please, at the start of the day, as we're obviously trying to avoid how many children are in the office at the moment. Our PE day is a Thursday afternoon. However, you do just wear your kit all day. And again, fantastic work so far, Year 6, because we have had every single day of kit so far. I can only hope that Mrs. White is having the same luck and the same standard. So brilliant there as well. You are welcome to bring another pair of trainers in to kind of cover that, so that if it is a little bit muddy. And we do recommend wearing both kits, or at least having the jacket of their outdoor kit with them, just in case they do end up outside. Uniform as well hasn't really changed, but overall really impressed. The only main thing really now is that they shouldn't be wearing a tie. That's not necessarily a permanent thing for the rest of the year. However, we do need to maintain that guidance at the moment. Proper shirts now, not polo shirts. We do need to be wearing proper shirts, whether that's short or long sleeve doesn't matter. Black trousers, skirts, pinafore dresses, or a red and white checked dress, more so in the summer. And anything that you are wearing should be at least knee length with black or red tights. There shouldn't be any grey anywhere in your uniform. I appreciate that obviously lots of you wear external jackets to come into school, but as soon as you're in, you should be taking that off. And the last thing really with regard to expectation of how you look is that our hair should be tied up, and we should only, even me, be wearing stud earrings. And if they do need covering for PE for whatever reason, that's something that you will have to do. It's not anything that we can do. And I believe that's it. And they will apply to both the both Year 6 classes as well.
As far as the curriculum is concerned, Year 6 is often based around the SATs and gearing up to those in May. But obviously we've had a different year, so we will be looking at work gearing up to the SATs, but we'll also be looking at a personalised recovery curriculum for the children to make sure that any gaps in learning are looked at, and we'll make sure that their confidence is being built as well. In maths, we are looking at place value at the moment and the 4 operations. Other areas we will be going into is fractions, decimals, percentages, measurement and ratio, algebra, geometry and statistics. In maths as well, children will be getting into the routine of practicing their times tables daily and doing arithmetic practice too. In class, I will be using the Times Table Rockstar practice print-off sheets. It's really important as well for them to be practicing that using Times Table Rockstars at home to practice their times tables. I think it's a really, really good way to learn them, and it makes it fun as well. And there's different battles of the bands we'll be doing and competitions between us and other classes. We can do that all online. Obviously, we don't actually have to see the other classes, and we've got a Hall of Fame I think we've got a general school Hall of Fame, and I've also got one in the classroom as well, just to get a bit of competition going, so that's good. We have, in science, we're doing inheritance and evolution at the moment. We'll be moving on to living things in their habitats and animals, including humans. We'll also be doing some light and electricity as well, which is always really exciting. And trying to cross over with different topics, because obviously we need to spend a lot of time on maths and English, not just because of the SATs, but because of some of the time that's been missed, but still wanting to engage the children and give them that wide range of subjects. So crossing over with science and maths is often one good way of doing it. Another way we've already started, going on to humanities. In geography, we're doing the UK at the moment and the countries within the UK, and we are studying Macbeth in English, and Macbeth was set in Scotland, which is one of the countries. So that's one way that we've started to cross over and be able to do more than one thing, which is really good and gets the children really engaged in what they're doing. For other geography topics, we'll be looking at the rainforest and climate zones, and in history, World War II, the Victorians and the Tudors. I would like to be able to say now about trips that we could do. There's obviously lots of trips linked to these things, but at the moment it's impossible for us to plan anything like that, which is a real shame. But don't worry, myself and Miss Wakeling will think of ways to engage the children. We've got great surroundings in Little Pondons, so we've got some amazing wow days and things planned for them.
So Miss White will be covering some of the curriculum, and obviously I've got the other subjects that she doesn't include, reading and writing being one of them. So we're putting a real heavy focus on our reading skills, particularly retrieval, inference and prediction. So they will be key questions that you can discuss with your parents, carers, at home whilst you're reading. So, you know, how is this character feeling? How do you know? Looking at vocabulary as well, particularly new words if we're not sure what they are, and really broadening our vocabulary that we have. As for writing, we will be pulling on various skills. There's not really much in terms of grammar and spelling that you will be taught any differently as such to Year 5. It's more now just building on the skills that we had and really deepening that knowledge. So most of it will be familiar to your children. This year, or term rather, particularly, we've already produced a leaflet on witches, which I'm sure some of them may have told you about. We will also be looking at diary writing, and we'll also be writing a recount at the end of this term. So really honing in on things that we are doing and what we enjoy and how to piece that together. Our story for this term, I use that term lightly, is Macbeth. And so far, the children really seem to be enjoying it. And after Macbeth, we will be reading The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe in Autumn 2. Then in Spring 1, we will be reading Wonder, which is an amazing book that both Miss White and I have really excited to start teaching. If you've seen the film already, that's a good start, but I can assure you the book is so much better. And after that, we're going to start looking at a variety of different texts. So from Spring 2 to Summer 2, it will be a variety of different poetry, different non-fiction texts, and texts from different cultures. So there's not a one explicit text that we will be reading. Just mentioning reading, it's really important that we are reading at least 4 times a week, and that's 10 minutes a time. So if your child or you are reading with your child for 20 minutes, that can count as 2 slots, because we're really trying to push that reading this term. I'm not too sure about what the situation is in Miss White's room, but we achieved 66% last week, which is better, but it's still not great. So we want to really push that up, and we're aiming for that 80%, and we can't do that if we don't all contribute. So that's really, really important. And we really love to hear any recommendations that you have for books that we could potentially read in class. Not so much for our English lessons, but just outside of that, because the children really love reading, and it's a great opportunity for us to read to them as well.
It's really important, as it's Year 6, to talk about SATs. I'm sure you've got questions about those. The SATs will take place in May 2021, and leading up to that, we will have mock SATs at various points. which we will let you know about before, and we will prepare children for. The main reason for these as well is to prepare the children so that when it comes to the actual SATs, they won't feel as anxious and nervous. It's not something I've gone into in great detail with them yet, because I think they've had enough anxiety to deal with coming back and just getting used to being in the classroom. But you can maybe speak to them about it and let them know that we will be practicing. I think those mock SATs are really important to show them the whole formality of giving out papers, collecting in papers, having their own where they need to sit, although they'll be quite used to that with how things are set out at the moment actually, so it may be easier than in previous years. We also have always had booster, after school booster sessions as well before. Not obviously cannot confirm how that will run yet, it's usually after Christmas, but if it can't be done in school, then I'm sure we will be able to arrange doing something online. It's just something that needs to be confirmed and spoken about. As far as SATs go, we will be speaking to children about doing their best, and we will help them to do their best. So we will be working from now to give them all those skills they need to do the best they can in that situation. So some children thrive in an assessment environment and others find it really difficult, but we as a school, and we have Miss Linden as well to help support those children with any worries. And I've already spoken to children, but please feel free to say we have got a worry bag in my classroom, and if they are worried about anything, whether it be SATs or anything, but they feel they want to be anonymous or they don't feel like they can say it, they can put a post-it note in there and I will get that and I can read it, and then I can think of the best way to help. I think that is everything to say about SATs for now. The information on the government website is being constantly updated. At the moment, it just says that the SATs 2021 are going ahead, but there aren't any definite, there isn't any definite guidance. It probably will be up within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So anything I need to let you know, I will. Thank you.
And the last bit from me now is another part of the curriculum, and it is computing, which I'm very, very excited about. So some of you may be aware that I have recently been implemented as the computing lead and the e-safety officer. So also for both year groups, if you have any e-safety concerns, would like some more advice, have a worry and you're not really sure how to manage it, have a difficult conversation to have, I am the person that you can now come to seek that advice, and hopefully I can point you in the right direction. As for what the children will be doing, initially we're going to sort of recap on what key skills they do have. So I would highly recommend, especially if you've got a laptop or a computer, to spend some time on Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Publisher, Excel, because they are the programs we are going to be using a little bit more. We'll also be having a little bit of a play around, as it were, with some recording equipment and creating some of our own animated movies. And later in the summer term, which I know a lot of the children are really excited about, we will start programming and coding and making our own games, which I'm very, very excited about. The 2 programs we'll be using, or 3 programs rather, are Kodu, Programming Scratch, Programming, and Turtle Logo, or Turtle Academy. It comes up on Google, all of which are free. You can access each of them at home at your own leisure, and I really would recommend doing so you can be that little bit ahead, as it were, ready for those lessons. Ultimately, our key aim is just to make sure that the children are more technically illiterate, so using computers and things, and ensuring that they are able to engage with that wide world out there and that fast pace in technology that we are having, but ultimately as well so that we can use it safely and responsibly, which we know isn't always the case, but we're really hoping to build on that and promote positive online interactions. As part of that, I will be generating a group of digital leaders, which will predominantly be from Key Stage 2. So if this is something that you think you might be interested in, definitely have a think about it. You'll be in charge of things like helping with assemblies, helping with technical issues, helping teachers teach computing if it ever came to it. You know, if you hold a really strong skill in PowerPoint and that's what they're teaching, they might ask you to help them. And spreading e-safety awareness and thinking of ways in which we can do that beyond just Little Ponds End. thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's answered most of the questions that you had already. Obviously, if there's anything else left that you would like to ask or you do need to know, please feel free to drop either me or Miss White a message if it's regarding something, obviously whichever class you're from. Miss Coley is also available on our side, and you've also got Mrs. Ali in Miss White's class, should you need any of those. Please try and use your class teacher as your first port of call, but obviously if the other adult is your child's one-to-one, then absolutely feel free to speak to them as well. It's been a great start to the year. We are going to make a fantastic year 6, and I can't wait to see what the rest of 2020 has in store for us.